Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 8 of Scholarly Sidetracks. On a show made to showcase the wide variety of avenues a person can take after high school, as well as normalize all the speed bumps and detours we take, I've brought on Anika, a cake designer who demonstrates their artistic process while streaming. Without needing college, but still finding plenty of chances to learn, Anika will help inspire any artists out there who hope to create and share their art with the world. Whether it's cakes, streaming, or some third thing you may wish to dabble in, be sure in the very least that you enjoy the process. So hello again, welcome to the podcast, and today we have our special guest of Anika. How are you today?
I'm pretty good. How are you this morning?
Not too bad, thank you very much. Now, for anyone who doesn't know who you are, what's your title? What's your job? What do you do? Who are you?
Okay, well, I'm Anika. I'm a cake designer. I don't technically have a title right now other than just cake designer. I mostly make the cakes for fun. I guess streamer would be the title. Cake streamer?
That's good.
Yeah, streamer would be the title. But yeah, I design cakes and make them and have fun with that on stream.
Now, can you give me like an example of what kind of designs? Like, are you doing like wedding cakes? Are they certain themed, or what do you do?
All kinds of things. I just recently I did a fan art for an artist who does like dragon figurines, and she had one that I absolutely loved, and I was like, can I please turn it into a cake? Yeah. And she's like, as long as you don't make money, it's fine. So I made it was like 8-9 inches tall or something like that, and it was a 3D cat dragon sitting in a box cake. So I will make basically anything.
That's cool. How many cakes do you generally make? Is it to say how many a week, or is it better to say like how many in a month you do?
Right now I'm trying to do maybe like one a week. It just kind of depends. Since I've just moved recently, things are a little bit weird. So generally it's like I try to do about one a week.
Gotcha. And you do them for the sake of a client or customer, or do you just kind of do them for fun? And is there any kind of, I guess, for lack of words, are you worried about like a business or money side to it, or is it just a fun time?
It varies. It depends. It's varied over the course of the last 10 years. It's been kind of on the side hobby, kind of getting paid, then to having a full actual business and just actually getting properly paid, and then another kind of on the side, not official, and now it's more just kind of hobby. I don't really take any specific orders anymore. I just want to practice my craft and enjoy it that way.
So most of the time you're doing it like while you're streaming is kind of the way you do, and people can watch you and have all that kind of fun that way.
Yeah, generally I stream like the entire process. If it's a more complicated cake, I won't do the baking portion, but generally it's the entire decorating process is done live.
Well, that's cool that people who might be interested or just want to see, it's fun to watch people that are like artists that do their work, and you get to sit there and be like, oh, there's the secrets. And
it's wild that there's people who want to sit there for 8 hours while I decorate a cake. Like, it just blows my mind.
It's got to be calming in a way too. Just sit there, and it's like watching any kind of cooking show, I guess. Like, yeah, baking will take a little while, but if you just want to sit there and watch the fish tank in a way.
I love that analogy. That's great.
So if I caught correctly, you've been doing this for 10 years?
I've actually been professionally, I've been doing it for about, 12 to 13. Oh, math. About 12 to 13 years. But I made my first cake for my 16th birthday, so it's been like, I don't know, what's almost 32 minus that many years? I don't know.
Close to 16. Love.
Yeah,
doing the thing.
I can't math.
It's fine. As long as you worry about just quarter cup, half cup, all that.
Exactly. I hate math, but baking is so wonderful. As long as you know your fractions, that's all you need. Yeah.
Now, what got you to do that like original cake, and was that 16 birthday cake the one that kind of sparked you to get to where you are now, or how'd you kind of get into that vein?
Yeah, the 16th birthday cake was just, I was sold after that. My middle sister had gotten married, and I was at her wedding, and she had like a cake, and there were these sprinkles on it that were really cool, and the frosting was like pretty much, you know, like perfect, and it was a really basic cake, but I was like, oh, this is really interesting. And then a year or two later, she made a cake for someone. She made homemade fondant, and I'd never seen that, I'd never heard of that before, and I was like, please tell me how you did this. I want to try. That looks so fun. Yeah. So she sent me the recipe, and we were still living overseas at the time, and I couldn't find powdered sugar. I had to make my own powdered sugar with a coffee grinder from my best friend's mom. It was ridiculous. And yes, I made it was around the time the Alice in Wonderland movies, the live action ones, the Tim Burton ones were like kind of coming out.
Gotcha.
And so I wanted to do an Alice in Wonderland theme, so my best friend came over and she helped me decorate it, and I was just completely sold after that.
And have you done, or do you need any kind of schooling to get to where you are? Has it been kind of all just a fun, long, self-taught journey, or how's that go?
With cake decorating, you don't technically need schooling. I mean, it's like any kind of art form. Art school isn't required to become an artist. There's plenty of people who are a million times more amazing than I am at decorating, and they've never, you know, done a single class in their life. But I did do schooling. I did a trade school for it, so that's where I got kind of my base knowledge of a lot of things.
And can you describe how, like, this is just like, is this culinary school and you just focused more on the baking side? Is there like a cake decorating school?
It was, so the title of the school, because it's no longer open, the title was Bonnie Gordon College of Confectionery Arts. So it was specifically cake design. I did their longest course that they had available that was 2 months long. And that was just, it started out with like the baking basics, how to bake, how to make like fruit jams, how to even can stuff. So I know how to can jam. Not that I've done it since school, but like I know how to can jam.
You can.
So all those basics, as well as the like cost, being able to determine how much are all my things going to cost, how much is the client willing to pay, what's my profit margin, all of those things. And then obviously the decorating portion. And it was 2 months of like 8-9 hour days of training. Yeah.
It's a full-time gig.
Yeah. Yep. It was a very full 2 months.
A lot to learn.
Yep.
So for anyone who might consider a similar type program, because you said that one's no longer around, is it something, in your opinion, you don't have to give necessarily exact numbers unless you're comfortable with it, is it an expensive process? Is it like 2 months, 20 grand, and then you get some kind of certificate at the end? Yay. Or is it a relatively cheap? How is that?
It's way cheaper than culinary school. It was, if I'm remembering right, it was, my brain wants to say it was 7 grand. It might have been more like 10 or 11, but I'm pretty sure it was 7,000 Canadian, and that was 12 years ago. And that was significantly cheaper. My other kind of option I had been looking at was like Le Cordon Bleu in like New York or maybe Texas, or, you know, one of those locations. And that was going to be like double the price. It was 15 to 20,000. And that was like, not even, that was just their pastry side, only doing the sweet part of Le Cordon Bleu and not the entire cooking degree that I can't remember what it's called.
Sure.
Yeah, and I didn't want to do that.
It's for half the shebang.
Yeah, it's for, you get half. Because I really didn't want to do the full, but yeah, it was significantly cheaper. But like, it really just depends on the person, like if they can afford that or not, and then what they want to learn and what they're looking for, because it's really varied. You don't even necessarily have to do trade school and get a certificate. There are so many really talented people online, and also even just with courses in person that you can find who can teach you specific skill sets. Like I did the Wilton courses at Michael's, and when I was a teenager, that was like technically my first training, and my first certifications or whatever was Wilton, but there's a lot of options to almost essentially gather up all of those same skills and knowledge from various locations, online or in person. I don't know if that is in the end going to be cheaper than a specific school that does it all, but there's so many avenues for that.
Especially because, like, in the example of taking like Michael's classes or things like that. They're kind of short bursts that might help some people who, maybe they want to get into doing cake decorating, for example, but maybe they're not quite sure if they want to commit to it, or they're still like very attached to like a full-time job, and they're like, I can't fully commit to this yet. They'll help give them some sampling of it. That way they can try it out and even go home and be like, well, yeah, I actually really enjoy this. This is fun. Or like, nope, never mind. I've tried it.
Yeah.
I don't like it. This is not what I thought it was going to be, or whatever.
Yeah, and I mean, Wilton is an awesome start. Like the ones that I think Michael still offers them, as far as I'm aware, the Wilton courses, because those are pretty straightforward. They're simple. They are the absolute basics, and it's a good like starting point, even for someone who doesn't even want to get into it as a career and they just want to give it a try. Like try a new hobby, try a new art form. Or maybe you're a parent and you want to be able to, level up your cakes a little bit for your kids just to make them that little extra special. Like those kind of courses, they're affordable and they work great. And you never know, you might find that you love it and want to make it a career.
Yeah, I mean, how cool would it be? Like that's a good example, like for parents and their kid's birthday party or whatever. Like the annual, all their friends come over and they're like, look at this like elaborate looking cake, and they're like, where'd you get this cake? Where'd you buy it? And you'd be like, oh no, I made it, and just everyone's gonna just be amazed because that's like, what?
That's the most fun part.
Yeah. I'd like to get your perspective too on the streaming side. So how big or not do you consider yourself to be a streamer? Like if you're 1 to 10, 1 is like you just started yesterday, you have your mom following you, and 10 is like you're the big wig, you're Markiplier, you're all that stuff.
Well, definitely not 10. Definitely not a 10. I don't know. I have no idea that's a really big scale reference for a really small scale.
Let me try and quantify it another way. So while you do your streaming, do you feel like you get any substantial, let's just go with like financial support, because you've got like subscribers and bits and all that stuff, or if you do a Patreon or anything like that. Is this at all somewhat of a profitable avenue? Not that you're necessarily putting in a lot of money into it, making money out, but is money at all involved? Not that it has to be the only metric, but that's another one we can talk about.
Well, when it comes to streaming, I know a lot of people like who do like the gaming streaming and things like that, which I also do as well, is like there's very little money that goes into the gaming streaming other than maybe buying computers and obviously the beginning things like your mic and your computer itself and stuff. But with cakes, there's a lot of money that goes into it because I have to buy ingredients, and butter's expensive, yo. It costs a lot of money.
Good stuff too.
I don't know if anybody's been to the grocery store lately, but butter and eggs cost a lot of money. So there is a lot more money that goes into it. But I would say that it's not really necessarily a financially feasible thing for me in that, like, it's I make money off of it. I get a payout maybe twice a year, which is totally fine. But it's definitely not a revenue source in any way for me, really. I have a lovely little community that I do love. But yeah, it doesn't go into that side of the streaming life.
No, but that's good that you brought that up, because that's another, I think, important part to it, because I don't know how much of it is anymore. COVID's died down a lot, so not as many people are trying to find every little side gig that they can, and not everyone's considering streaming anymore. So it's good that you brought up, hey, there is a money part, but there's also like an enjoyment part. And how long have you been streaming now, more or less?
It'll be 3 years on the 8th.
And so you're still enjoying it, 3 years later.
Yeah.
That's a good chunk of time to have tried it out, to interact with people and be like, yeah, this is nice, but, I don't really care for the people, or, yeah, it's kind of fun, but the process is just not any good. So it's nice that you still enjoy it, that you, I assume, are going to continue doing it for however long.
Yeah, for as long as possible, for as long as Twitch is around is at least my hope. It's the people make it all worth it, and no longer working in a bakery, being in an actual brick and mortar store anymore, which I haven't for over 10 years now. It's so nice to not be alone when I'm baking. Like, I love putting Star Trek on in the background while I'm baking. Like, I am an avid show watcher while I work. But there's a whole other difference when you're an extrovert and I'm able to at least have people there and talk with me and hang out with me while I'm working. It just brings that extra joy and fun to the process.
Yeah, I bet it helped to not just sit there and 8 hours can go a lot longer if you're just sitting there thinking about the little stuff that you're doing and whatever. But to interact with someone, they're like, hey, what are you doing there? So how did you do that? What makes you think that? Or what color are you thinking? That makes it a whole lot more fun.
Yeah, and when I'm freaking out about something going wrong inevitably, they're like, calm down, it's fine.
Don't even worry about it. It looks totally good. I'd eat it still.
Yeah, exactly.
For anyone who does decide to do, let's say, food-based streaming, because we'll just speak in that vein more so, is it easy, hard? Do you have any opinions on, let's say, getting more people to watch your stuff? Is it generally you're doing your thing, people show up, and it's kind of word of mouth on their side? Are you doing TikTok or I guess at this moment we'll see if TikTok, when this podcast comes out, whether or not TikTok exists, but that type of media where you make little videos and shorts to try and get people, do you worry about anything like that? Or what do you have to say on that realm?
I don't do extra content really anywhere else. I post pictures of my cakes on Instagram, and I sometimes try to post YouTube videos. Like, I'll do a sped up version with music on it of the cakes, but I hate editing so much. I just
I understand.
I don't like it. I don't like it. So I don't do that very often. So I don't do all that extra kind of work and effort to try to get more outside people in. It really has just been kind of like people coming in, and that's a really nice thing about like the food and drink category and the arts categories of Twitch. It's a completely different landscape to the gaming side. The gaming side, it's hard to get even just one viewer sometimes. It's hard to get that retention. But with the food and drink, it's a lot smaller of a community, and there's kind of a different type of entertainment people are looking for, a different sort of vibe. So there's a lot more interconnectedness within a lot of the food and drink streaming community. A lot of us all know each other, know somebody who knows somebody. There's just a lot more interconnectedness. It's really nice. So it kind of makes it a pinch easier to build at least like a small little community.
Oh, that's good. I know only in my own experience with streaming and being on the gaming side that's a huge correct opinion there. Or fact, I guess, in that sense of it is hard. Like, people will show up semi-often, I guess, but then they don't come back. It is very hard to get people to stay. Everyone's got they want to see 1,000 different people playing the same game, or they want a specific person all the time. They don't really want to branch out too much, so it's hard to be that main person for someone. And I used to do the editing videos and making shorts and doing all this stuff, but it gets to be so grueling after a moment because, however many years later, still not any big. No one's listening to this podcast like, oh my God, streamer Boogie Woogie Bryce is doing a podcast. No one's thinking that. So I tried to get rid of a lot of that work side, partly because it's not worth it. Some people, you grind it out and it'll be worth it one day. If you can keep up with that, anyone listening, great. If you're willing to do that work and grind it out to see if it works, cool. I did it for a time. Didn't work for me, whether it was what I put out or whatever didn't work. I'm fine with it. It's in the past. I get to just enjoy it now as I do the stream. I turn it off, and that's it. It's done.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing I think with streaming, whether it's in the food and drink category, art category, chatting, whatever it is. The point is that you're enjoying it, that you're having fun, whether you have one viewer or 1,000, that you are enjoying yourself. And if all that extra, like, grinding work is not something you're enjoying, is not something you like, and it's also not going anywhere, what is the point of doing it? Like, why do that to yourself and turn something that could be an enjoyment and a source of, something that gives you energy and gives you life and gives you some joy into a grueling task that's just full of, like, disappointments. So I think that's a really important thing with streaming, no matter the category. Just make sure it's something you're actually enjoying doing.
Yeah, like any art, you want it to keep it something that you want to do, not something that you feel like we'll be careful on the word need, because there are some artists that they need to do stuff because that helps them. But as far as like all the extracurricular things that you feel like I have to do this, I have to do that. If I'm not, it's not going to go anywhere if I do this. Well, is it more important that you make pretty cakes, that you play the games, that you do hoopla, whatever shit? Or is it more important that you have this growing business side? If you're looking at it from like a business growth and all that stuff, cool, great, have a good time with all that. But if that's not the main goal, don't stress too much about it if it's going to start hindering the main point.
Yeah, and seeking the people make a stream, that's you stream not just for yourself, but you stream to the point for others. So, having an emphasis on the people who are coming into your chat makes a difference.
Yeah, helps for like in your case, you say you got a nice little community. You can't have a community if it's just you and everyone watching and you don't ever recognize them or acknowledge. They're just always over there and you just keep them to the side. That's not as many people are going to want to interact with you.
Yeah, and knowing that the streamer, the streamer cares about the community. I know that there are streamers that I really enjoy getting to be able to be in, pop in, even if it's for a few minutes, because of the way that they speak to me when I come into chat, the way that they care and put their voice towards me. It reaches a human part that says I'm cared about and I'm valued here. So I think that's the kind of stream that a lot of people, especially nowadays, really kind of gravitate towards, where they feel like they are made to belong, they're cared about, they know that they're valuable to the streamer. And not in that, false friendship, whatever that thing was called, that's completely left my brain, but just in that sense of this person is kind, they welcome me here, I'm welcome here, I'm cared about, I'm loved, this is a safe space and a community I can be myself in. And I think a lot of people are seeking that out in the online space, because we're not, after COVID, we're not good at that in person anymore.
Yeah, it's hard to go outside and wave at people or say hi. Even dumb little stuff like that is kind of the things people want when they come to a stream. They just want acknowledge I'm here. Hey, what's up, buddy?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Outside of cake decorating, baking, and streaming, do you have any other hobbies or jobs that take up your time? Do you feel like those two things kind of take up everything and you're pretty fulfilled and happy with those?
We've got some projects that we're working on the side that I'm not talking about right now, and that takes up my whole life at the moment. But I really cakes and gaming are kind of my life a little bit. I like to read. Yeah, it's one of those things of the thing that I love to do is also the thing I choose to stream, and the thing I choose that if I can make it a job, I will make it a job because it's what I love.
Hey, that's the dream right there. That's what anyone can hope for.
Yeah.
Since we're near the end of all of our talking points, then we get to have, the big gotcha question. I give it to everyone. You get to have a singular redo. The way that this works, you get to travel back in time to whatever point, that's high school or later. And the way the time travel works, you forget everything that happened except for one thing of your choice. So whether it's one tiny thing I would have started this cake decorating program earlier, or I probably would have just skipped it and I'd be fine. Or maybe I would have done this certain thing for streaming or whatever, whether it's a tiny thing or a huge thing. If you could change anything, what would you? And I know some people are like, what's the point? You can't change anything. And it's not meant to be for you. Unfortunately, Anika, we don't have the time machine here. We're not wheeling it out hey, here it is. Here's your chance. It's for anyone who might be listening and they're at the same stage that you would have been to make the choice, where it's hey, so I would have actually started this program immediately, and someone listening will be like, oh, okay, I'll try that. And that could help save them some grief, time, whatever. So do you have anything that you would possibly change? And not that you have to.
So my brain doesn't go to the but you can't change. My brain goes to the butterfly effect of if I change a tiny thing, my whole life gets destroyed.
Everything's over.
Everything, it won't be the same. But no, I totally get the question. I think if there's anything that I would change, it's not necessarily about my choices of when I went to school or where I went to school or what I chose or anything like that. It would be more of a me thing, a personal change within myself more than anything else. I've dealt with a lot of really strong anxiety, especially since I was a teenager. Even now, it's not as bad now, but I was full of so much anxiety going into school, which, affects how you kind of make connections and make friends. Mm-hmm. Full of so much anxiety in other projects and other activities and all of that it affects everything. And I feel that would be a thing that I would love to have change or have changed, to have been able to be past that, maybe be at the point that I am now, which is not 100%, anxiety free, but far more comfortable in who I am as a person than I was back then. I think some things would have been a little bit easier or a little bit more enjoyable, or I would have made some really special friends a lot sooner than I did.
So in some way, you would have tried to tackle the anxiety sooner, or try and find ways of dealing with it, however you'd wish to phrase that.
Yeah. Whether that's, having gone to therapy sooner or what have you. I don't know how necessarily I would necessarily change it, but that's something I would like to have had be different.
Yeah, to like actively know, hey, this is going to be kind of a hitch in my giddy up for a while. I might try and do what I can. Not to say that you necessarily will, but it's good that, effort's always a good thing. Mm-hmm. Okay, so for our last little bit here, I always turn it over to the guests for the last couple minutes or 10 seconds. Whether it's something you wished I had asked you along the way, or if you have something inspiring or funny to say to the 414 or 4 million people listening, here's your moment to say anything or nothing. What would you like?
I would probably say, especially to those who maybe are in a space where they're still deciding what they want to do with their life, or maybe they're in a crossroads of going out of one career and trying to figure out where they're going to go next. More than anything else, know that you are loved and you are cared about no matter what decision you make. There's not necessarily a wrong answer. Go for it, make your choice, and know that you are loved by the people around you, that you're valuable no matter what decision you make, no matter what's going on and what's going wrong. That our careers are not our personalities. They're not who we are as a person. You are more than what you make your paycheck. So that's what I would want to say.
Very well said. I'm glad that you brought that up. I'm hoping that'll help some people know that they have like that baseline of love. I guess it's just the easy way to say is that you always have that you can have that no matter what. Whether you're streaming, you work in a cubicle, you go work outside in the elements all day and all night. That's not necessarily you. That's not going to make you Bryce. That's not going to make you Anika. That's not going to make you anything. That's just one part of the big story.
Yeah, we are all far more valuable than we realize.
Very nice. Well, thank you very much for coming on the show today. It was great talking to you. Obviously, your streaming has made you a very well-spoken person. This went very well, in my opinion.
Oh, I'm glad I didn't make an idiot of myself. Thank you.
No, we'll do that later.
That's the after show?
Yeah. When we get into the evening times, that's when we bring out the ding-dongs and weirdos, and I'm hoping you'll come back on for that.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
For sure. We'll talk to you later, and all those listening, have a wonderful time. Till next time I see you. Bye-bye for now.
Bye.
As we're wrapping things up, and since we only have a couple episodes left, I'll let you all know that you can actually watch these full-length interviews in a video format too. This will give you a chance to put a face to the names and voices you hear, and this is going to be done through Patreon. There'll be 2 ways you can gain access to videos through there. One is with a $5 subscription, which will get you access to all of the videos in the season from this season, and if we do future ones, it'll be an ongoing situation, so you can even subscribe for the 1 month, watch everything, and then re-up it later and get all the videos going on in the future. And if you just want a specific video, if you don't want to worry about subscriptions or you don't care about seeing all the episodes, you just want to see, just Anika's or just Nathan, whatever, you can buy a specific video for just $3 a piece. On top of that, Patreon is going to be an easy spot for anyone who wants to add in any suggestions for the show, if they have questions on how things are run, if they want to say anything good, bad, or in between. That'll be a great community source for you if you want to be able to make your voice heard, and I'll be able to see it, and we can talk with other viewers and get their guests and get the whole ball rolling in that regard. At the time of me saying all this blah, I'm not certain if there will be a way I can put an easy click-on link to a podcast episode. So if you just go to Patreon, it's going to be the same name as this podcast of Scholarly Sidetracks. You'll see the familiar little fishy there and everything, so you'll be able to find it that way. I'm going to try and put in a nice easy link to make it easier for you, but in case you don't see that, you'll know it's because I tried and it wasn't an option. For the time being, the Patreon is going to be the main source for community. There won't be any YouTube or Twitch, but On the topic of Twitch, if you'd like to see Anika do her cake decorating, you can find her with the handle Anika's Cakery, which is spelled ANIKASCAKERY. And to see her gaming side, look for the handle Anika Gaming. And now for the normal ending remarks. As we wrap things up, I'd like to say thank you again for listening and to Anika for joining me. By sharing these stories, we hope to either inspire you onto this new path, shed light onto how one may navigate the world of streaming, cake decorating, and such, or in the very least help show you that whatever directions you take, you're golden. No life is a straight line, so embrace all the weird and wonderful sidetracks you've taken, and probably will take in the future. If and when you decide to take on a new sidetrack, be sure to do your own research, ask around, reflect on what you hope to achieve, and remember your journey will be unique to Anika's, even if you decide to pursue the same fields. In the end, this is a podcast of experiences, opinions, and open conversation, not a source of permanent truths. We'll end the show, as always, with a thank you to Kyle Tankersley for writing the song set as the intro and outro to this song, performed by Cranky Tank and the Fixers. Copyright 2019, the wonderful song of Avalon. See you all next time.
When she kisses me, her love sets me free, makes this whole damn world seem alright. As we toss and turn, passions, flames they burn, holding close, we love throughout the night. For so long my dreams are calling me to have a love of mystery I hate yet to know. And now I'm thinking to myself, this has got to be the best life's given me.